wintry weather advisory for north of Atlanta, snow in North Georgia, updated on February 19th, 2025. Thanks for joining Atlanta Direct News. Take a look.
I'm meteorologist Chesley McNeil, and we're continuing to update you here on Alarm Live Plus on the wet weather, that's the snowfall, really, that's coming down in North Georgia, and singing a little bit further down to the south as well. This will be with us at least through about 11 o'clock this morning, and then looking at that light snow, not accumulating too much, but any amount of snow, of course, could add to slickness on the roadways. Even rain that will be around some parts of the area could add to slickness. So you got to be careful, folks, especially where we have that snow and the temperatures as well. So you got to bundle up. If you notice, the winter weather advisory that we have out there now has been extended a little bit further to the south. These are our westernmost counties. That goes all the way down into Haralson County. You can see Paulding County now included in that, and they also included Cherokee County as well. Bartow and Cherokee County have been added into this advisory, where we're starting to see some of that snow, or at least that snow line, starting to push a little bit further to the south and over toward the east. In the metro area, haven't seen much of anything yet, and if we do, I think it'll be all rain, as temperatures will support the liquid form of precipitation. Anywhere from about half an inch to about an inch. The inch side of that will be mainly in the higher elevations of the North Georgia mountains, but generally speaking, we have seen maybe up to a quarter to a half inch of snowfall so far in our far northwestern counties, and now that is pushing a little bit further over here toward the east, and so we're expecting to see up to a half an inch of snow. There'll be some spots, still those little blue spots in there, where we could see up to an inch in the higher elevations of the North Georgia mountains. Rain, you can see from Murrayville down to the south, headed into Alpharetta. It's all rain there. The snow a little bit further up to the north, and then we got this little pocket you can see back here that's heading into Paulding County, just passing through Polk County into Haralson County and now into Paulding County. And where we see those brighter whites there, that indicates some decent amounts of snow coming down on a pretty decent clip. Starting to wind down a little bit in the far northwest. Now, that snow started in Dade and Walker County, and now you can see just a few flurries flying around there. Dalton catching a break, and then it starts to extend a little bit further over toward the east. So now you're talking about parts of Gilmer and Fanning County, where we have the snow that's coming down, and that will be ending momentarily as well as this system continues to push further off to the east. It is a quick mover, so even by 9 o'clock, maybe over still into Helen, over into Clayton. By 10 o'clock, certainly a lot of this will be over into parts of South Carolina. The rain, or a mixing, is down toward Mossy Creek and over toward Murrayville, Juneau as well. Even southern parts of Dawson County likely to get a little bit of mixing taking place there. And when I say mixing, I mean the rain mixing with a few snowflakes flying around. Anywhere you have mixing, it lowers the totals, right? And so when you talk about rain, or if you look over into parts of Bartow County, for example, where we have snow in some spots, right? Taylorsville probably dealing with all snow right now, light snow for that matter. You got some rain not that far away, and so that mixing line there, where we're seeing the mixing with the snow and the rain, will lower the totals there. So you may have a little bit more over into Taylorsville than you will in Ackworth, for example, as far as snow accumulation, mainly on grassy surfaces is where that's going to be more of the accumulation. That rain now starting to sink a little bit further down to the south. We haven't seen much in Gwinnett County, for example. Lawrenceville, over toward Roswell and North Fulton County. Atlanta certainly hasn't seen much of any rainfall at all so far, at least this morning. It's like we have a little dry pocket that's over us because the rain is starting to build down to the south, certainly down toward the Macon area and southward. We're seeing that rain begin to push in. Heaviest rain has been down toward the Gulf. Most of your snow staying up to the north and starting to stink a little bit further down to the south, but that's like a nice little pocket there. It's not going to last long. Let's put it that way. It's not going to be an all-day snow event. This will quickly get out of the way by the time we get through mid-morning. So again, you're looking at up to a half an inch of snowfall up here to the far north, our northernmost counties, as we're expecting that to be. Mixing taking place with no accumulation in places like North Fulton County, Gwinnett County. We're not going to see that. You may see a flake or two mixing in at times, but that will be it. Look at Atlanta southward. Well, you're talking about all rain there. That's it. And we're saying a cold rain because temperatures are starting off in the 40s this morning, or 30s rather this morning. And so we'll see them get to the 40s as we head into the afternoon, but the rain itself should be gone. I'm suspecting by noon that rain will be out of the way. You take a look at these temperatures right now. You're right at the freezing market, places like Dalton and Blairsville, where the snow is starting to wind down just a little bit here. 36 degrees in George's Rome, 36 in Canton, 43 degrees right now in Atlanta, which is why if the precipitation begins to move in this direction, you're talking about all liquid here. 43, 43, Peachtree City, 43 in Thomaston, 43. That's a popular number out there this morning so far. And so, yeah, as the rain begins to move over this area, expecting that temperature to fall off a bit, but not all the way down to the freezing mark at least. And so we'll see that temperature rise back up. We'll only be in the 40s for highs today. And I think that temperature will be around 45 degrees, 46 degrees for this afternoon. So starting off in the 40s, going to dip and then rise back up once that precipitation moves out of our forecast area. You're not going to see much in the way of sunshine today. Not at all, folks. Don't worry about that part. We're going to keep the clouds in place. Those clouds extend all the way back, you can see, into Dallas. And so they're not going to go anywhere. The heaviest rain has been down along the Gulf. I mentioned that earlier. You can see where that Gulf moisture continues to slide over toward the east. The yellows indicate moderate rainfall. That orange in there and some of those reds indicate the very heavy rainfall. And that has been confined down around the Gulf. You got some moderate pockets extending up into central Georgia, maybe just south of the Macon area. And then again, we haven't seen much of anything happening over Atlanta right now. But eventually you'll get in on some of this. You can see it starting to shrink back just a little bit, where it's starting to lose a lot of its punch. And so all the snow that we had up here to the north, well, that's coming to an end already. And so as this continues to scoot over toward the east, this is winding down. Your heavier totals as far as the snowfall goes will be back off here to the north and west, where it was snowing a little bit longer. And now things are starting to shrink back just a little bit, and so we won't have as much as far as those totals go. Rain itself, light side, especially for the Atlanta metro area. Your heavy rain, again, mainly down here to the south. Back behind this, just the clouds in place, and so for much of the day, once we get past noon today, that's all we'll be experiencing is the clouds. It will be on the cool side because temperatures will stay in the 40s. Now, I did mention that winter weather advisory up to our far north lasts until 1 a.m. on Thursday. All right, 1 a.m. Thursday. And the reason why is because it's accumulating on the grassy surfaces, all right, and some of the higher or the elevated surfaces, those elevated roads like bridges and overpasses. Now, if it happens to refreeze, of course, that could lead to problems on the roadways during the morning. So we'll have to wait and see. Will we get any breaks in those clouds? If we get enough breaks and we get a little sunshine in here, all bets are off, because that will help to melt that off a little bit. Those rays of sun, that UV, will help us out to melt some of that snow and ice that's up there to the north. So here you have it, the back edge of this particular system now moving into parts of Alabama. So eventually that will get over here, and if it continues to break up, our area coverage will be smaller as well, but should be all out of the area by the time we get to noon today. Watching this front as it continues to sink a little bit further down to the south, it's the cold air back behind it that you're really going to feel as we head into Thursday. Thursday will be the coldest day of the week. We saw temperatures yesterday in the mid 50s and upper 50s. Right? That was with the sunshine. Now, a mix of sun and clouds. Now we're going to have more clouds in play. We've had the rain this morning, clouds for the rest of the afternoon. Temperatures won't climb all that much. Again, thanks to that cold air that's going to be affecting or pushing its way down into our area. We've shown you that over the last couple of days, that Arctic air that was over the northern plains where they saw high temperatures in the single digits, and down into the south, Texas, with temperatures, high temperatures only in the 20s and 30s. For us, the next couple of days, that's what it's going to be. Now, we'll have the wind to deal with as well. That's going to make it feel much colder. When we start off tomorrow morning, we'll start off with a temperature of 24, but with the wind, it's going to feel more like 14. We'll get up to a daytime high on Thursday of 38. Now, keep in mind, we should be in the upper 50s this time of year. We'll be almost 20 degrees below where we should be for this time of year for a high temperature. When you factor in the winds, it's going to feel more like the 20s out there. Yeah. Even on Friday morning, it'll be a very cold start. Temperatures down into the low 20s, but it's going to feel like 12, right? Cold start Friday, but we'll see those temperatures really start to modify a bit as we head into the afternoon. I think we'll be back into the 40s by Friday afternoon. And then the 50s will come our way as we head into the upcoming weekend, even some 60s as we head into next week. Here's how it plays out. Now, we're starting off again with the snow now shifting a little bit further over toward the east. We have some lingering down to the south, especially moving into parts of Paulding County as we speak. But that will get out of the way. By the time we get to noon today, notice the snow itself is over into South Carolina. We've cleared out up here to the north as far as the snow falling from the sky. There'll still be some on the ground, of course, on the grassy surfaces mainly. And then a few lingering isolated showers around. You see the metro area has cleared out, even down to the south, cleared out. That system moves through and gets out of the way. Clouds will stick around for the rest of the day, as you can see. Mostly cloudy skies for the rest of the day. It will be on the cool side. Again, temperatures right around 45 degrees. I think it remains cloudy through Thursday morning. And then by Thursday afternoon, that's when we'll start to see even more breaks in those clouds. We'll get the sunshine in here, but that northerly flow, those winds will be a bit breezy out there. And so that's going to make that temperature feel more cold. It will stay dry through the overnight going into Friday. Friday starts off with mostly sunny skies. We'll stay that way for much of the day. Even as we head into the weekend, we're going to hold on to that sunshine, at least hold on to the sunshine, and then we'll start to see those temperatures begin